Okay, well, it's a super hot day today. It seems like it's about 100 degrees, and I'm just gonna do the walk around here. It's not June yet, and this is already filled in. It provides a lot of shade. Two kinds of grapes here. This one, I believe, is a Candace table grape, and this guy is a Concord juice grape. So they'll start hanging down when they get ripe. It's pretty cool. They're all in here. This is a Chinook hop vine, and he'll come up and drape as well. This is, you can see down here, there's two filbert trees. I forget what kinds they are, but they have to be different varieties to fruit, and they do fruit pretty well, but the squirrels and blue jays always get them, so I've never actually gotten a filbert off of any of them because they get stolen. And this poor almond tree is a Pacific Northwest hardy kind, but I think this winter was just too rough on it. It's usually fruited with quite a few almonds, but again, the jays have gotten them, and I just never thought that it was worth netting. You could though. This mulberry tree, it's contorted mulberry, and it fruits, and you can eat the berries, but they're disgusting. But in here, the branches are all gnarled, and you can prune it pretty much any way you want. But it's a pretty rad tree. And chicken coop. Back here, there's a couple things you should know. This butterfly bush that is not here, but grows through the fence. Super invasive, and you want to pull that whenever you see it anywhere. You don't want to let that get established. And people have those all over the city, so it's just what you're going to deal with. Same with Tibetan blackberries. These guys, I meant to get back here, but I think I'm going to run out of time. You just want gloves. They're super thorny, and they're horribly invasive. I mean, you've seen them all over the place. You don't want to let them get started. And they come over the fence there, and the birds drop them. And I mean, you'll just find them in the yard. There's, I think, in every yard. This is a cherry tree. I think it's got a couple different kinds grafted on. And I'm carrying with me my Felcos. You always want to have these in your pocket. If this starts to annoy you, you're coming by this tree and it bumps you in the shoulder or something, just clip off your path. You're not going to hurt the tree. The tree's super healthy. Anything that's in your path, you just clip off. It doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt the tree. And otherwise you go a little crazy. Like if this guy's going to hit you in the face, just clip him off. It's no big deal. The tree's healthy. The tree's super healthy. And he's getting a little insect eaten here. And the cherries actually did not do well at all this year, the actual crop. I think it was too wet. But the actual tree itself, you get these nice dark green leaves. It's fine. Everything's fine. All this stuff in here is oregano, and you know, it's all over the yard. Like I've said before, we make pesto out of sunflower seeds and that, and it's pretty amazing. I try to cover crop these beds, but without the rain, not much is germinating. So if you want to plant something, you might turn these beds or spread them out a little bit, and should be ready to plant, basically. Back here, this is a completely neglected. This grape here is a Pinot Noir, and this is just cover cropped in here. This is this white stuff is buckwheat. You see little leaves, buckwheat, and this stuff here is another cover crop. It's vetch, and I think that's what's in there. And then, of course, sunflowers are coming up. A lot of volunteer sunflowers around. With the asparagus, you eat it for like a month or two, and then you have to let it bolt. You have to let it come up like this, so that it can feed the roots. So let it do that for a while. And you notice also that little orange bug there. There's another one Another couple over here. Those guys look like ladybugs, but they're not, and they're not your friend. I usually come along here and hold a cup of water with soap in it, and then I'll just hold the cup underneath them and knock them down, and they'll fall into the cup and drown. That way you don't have to spray anything, but anyway, you can come through here later in the year and there'll be a reasonable number on. They don't seem to do too much damage, but I think if their numbers got too sufficient, they might. And this is quinoa here. It's supposed to be for like salad eating. I mean, it is actually quinoa. It'll fruit and everything and leave the grains, but anyway, it just kind of takes over. I don't know if you want to leave it. If I see it like around here, I planted it nowhere near here. If you see it around here, you might want to just pull it out. This spiky thing, my rule is kind of anything with spikes, be really careful about. Don't let it fruit. And then there's lots of, this is just coriander here. That's volunteer. And then this is lettuce. It's volunteer lettuce. That's all over the place. And I usually let stuff like that go because the more lettuce, the better. But with such a hot day like today, it's going to get really bitter, be kind of gross. So anyway, I feed it to the chickens. This is a pretty common weed here in Portland. I usually pull those when I see them, but they're pretty easy to pull. They're not terrible weeds. And these, of course, are strawberries. And this is some sort of grass. Grass is always a problem. You know, it comes in from neighbors' yards, and it's just a fact of life. And apples and pears, I don't know what they are. If I ever find the list, I'll send it. But it starts with an apple and ends with an apple. And that down there is a that guy at the end. What's he? I used to remember. I don't remember anymore. Anyway, when you're coming through here, and this is also this thing here. It starts down here and wraps up. It has these real waxy leaves. It's a cinnamon vine. I've been trying to get this going for years, even though I have no idea what it is. I kind of wanted to taste it. So if it ever fruits for you, it's fruited for me just a little tiny bit. It looks like a little grape cluster, but nothing was big enough for me to taste it, so I don't know what it is. But anyway, when you're coming along here, if there's something, if you want to keep the espalier how it is, like the shape of it, you just come through and you just hack anything that you don't want. So like this guy's coming out into the path here, just hack him. Anything going straight up, you want to hack. He's never going to turn sideways. You know, when something starts going straight up, it never comes back. So just hack it off. And you can do it any time of year. I usually come out, well, when it was younger, I pruned all the time, but now I usually just do it once or twice a year. It's kind of nice in the summertime to get a full, this will completely fill in with stuff, and it gives you a little more privacy when you're